What's happening, HEXO traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for another episode. Got an exciting one for you today. HEXO, a potential partnership with a multi-state operator. We're going to get to that and more. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. There's some rumors going around online, getting a ton of questions about it as well. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash like, help support me on the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe and tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos. I just got back from Sylvan Lake, had an absolute blast there with a bunch of friends at an Airbnb, and I hope you're having a great weekend as well. Lots of rumors going around, and it started off from TonyXL. I have no idea who this is, and if you want to follow him, his Twitter handle is at one Anthony LaBelle. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I did give him a follow. I encourage you to do the same. But Tony, if you are listening, if you'd like to come onto my channel at some point soon, if you'd like to have a conversation, we don't have to make it public either, but if you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at info@pursuitofwealthgroup.com. But essentially, if you'd like to converse in the future, we can talk all things HEXO, and if you're up for it, we can even potentially have you on the channel, and I think a lot of people would really enjoy that. But essentially, it started off by TonyXL tweeting out a few things and some rumors flying around that HEXO could potentially have a partnership with an MSO. So again, I'll give my thoughts and opinions on this, but it does sound legit. I made this post on Reddit as well a couple hours ago. HEXO partnered with an MSO, multi-state operator, so an American MJ company. My thoughts and opinions. No idea who that TonyXL person is, but he was saying that HEXO is partnering with an MSO. It does sound legit. So SSL said about a year ago, and there was also, I think, some Dan character as well that was in the mix, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But SSL said about a year ago that they would be bringing Redees and gel caps to California through a special purpose vehicle whereby HEXO would only own 80% of those assets once the U.S. legalized, right? And that was supposed to be in January of 2022, but we know everything got delayed, right? We know that the CPG partner got delayed, the mergers and acquisitions kind of set things back, and then the Tilray deal, and then even the Tilray deal got amended and delayed a little bit as well. And as we know, I think it's Kellogg's, the new CPG partner, and they had a strike at the beginning of the year, and it was just announced that they're going to be dividing their business into 3 separate businesses. Again, I think that contributed to the delay. But the CPG partner will likely be released first, in my opinion. We know that it's supposed to be released at some point soon. They said they hope to have their first product to the SQDC, so it's going to be an edible before the end of the summer. That's their timeline. So if we know that their first edible is going to be to the SQDC by the end of summer, we could realistically see that anytime soon, any day really, in my opinion, that we could see that CPG partner. Like I said, I think it's Kellogg's, but I don't know for sure. But that's just me speculating. I think we're going to see that first, and then we'll get news of a potential partnership with an MSO. SSL, so Sebastian St. Louis, also said that they would be doing white labeling for MSOs, so I think it could be Green Thumb. This is just one possibility. I have another possibility that I'll bring up here in a moment as well. And again, if you have any guesses or if you have any facts or anything like that that can back that, let me know in the comments below if you have any information, what you think, who the partner potentially could be in the U.S., and I've been speculating that I think it could be Green Thumb because they now have retail in California. And here was the article. Green Thumb Industries enters California retail market with opening of Essence Pasadena on March 10th. And again, this is just me speculating. This was back in March 10th. So again, I'll highlight why I think this matters. But that news release came out March 2021, which was a few months before SSL mentioned that they would have that white labeling agreement. And then I posted the video here, and this is I'll post it in the description as well, but it was HEXO products coming to the USA. That was the thumbnail and the title. And again, that was, if we take a look at when I posted that video, that was in August of last year. So essentially about a year ago, coming up on a year here next month. And Green Thumb had entered into California, and that came out in March, right, 2021. So a few months later, they mentioned that we could potentially see the products coming to the USA. They said in January of 2022, we were going to see gel caps and Redees through some sort of special purpose vehicle enter California. And then he also mentioned the white labeling. So again, Green Thumb in March said that it was entering the California market. And then a few months later, we got wind that might actually happen and that it was going to happen in January. But again, I think that because everything got delayed, it was just pushed back. Everything that HEXO has said, they're working on eventually came true. It just took a little bit longer than expected. And then also something to consider is HEXO and Tilray will also bring the Redees pre-roll technology to Germany more than likely once recreational is live, right, and they're fully legalized, right? which I think could happen at some point here between the end of the year, if not early 2023. So get ready for an epic few years ahead. We are all going to be glad that we stayed the course, and we're all going to make it, in my opinion, because like I said, everything that HEXO has said has come true. It's just been delayed, and the market conditions have been atrocious, as we all know. But again, another TonyXL post here. HEXO, once the Tilray deal is closed, which we know it is now, I did a video on that as well. You can check that out. But the Redecan Redees on the shelves of MMNFF, which is MedMen in California and Boston, is in sight. And what do we know about Tilray and MedMen? And now that the Tilray deal is closed with HEXO, Tilray acquires majority position in amended MedMen convertible notes. Wow, that's a tongue twister. If we know that and this just basically means that they're going to be buying some debt of MedMen, and then they could potentially take a controlling stake and interest in the company upon full-blown legalization, right? They can't until it's federally permissible to do so, but that's just something to keep an eye out for as well. And again, that's me speculating that it could be Green Thumb, it could be MedMen as well, but again, we didn't know Tilray was partnered with MedMen before SSL mentioned it. When SSL mentioned it, it was back in August, right? That was a long time before this was announced, and this news came out in August 17th, 2021. So it was around the same time. So you never know. It could be, but again, we didn't know Tilray was going to be partnering with HEXO back then as well. So I think it's a little, I don't think it could be two things separate. I think it could be two very different things. There could have been a special purpose vehicle set up in California. And then as a result of the Tilray deal coming through, we're now seeing MedMen in the picture as well. But that's a possibility. He brings up a good point because Tilray now has, like I said, that the majority position in their convertible note, which can later on be exercised, and then they can potentially own equity in MedMen, right? Right now they're just doing the debt, kind of similar to what they did with HEXO's convertible notes, right? And their debt that they used to fund the Redecan acquisition. So this is pretty cool. And good point there, and we'll keep an eye on that as well. Some other rapid fire Sebastian St. Louis quotes, and shout out to Cedric for all of these and taking the time to post these. It really is a good, it really does jog the memory, and it's a good exercise to just remind us of what's potentially coming down the line here. But next product line that should be in market come January in select states will be our Redees pre-roll line, said HEXO co-founder Sebastian St. Louis. And this was a while ago, again, back in like August, I think it was, during this video. But essentially, we knew that Redees were going to be coming in January, and that was of this year. Obviously, it didn't happen in January, but again, everything's just kind of been pushed back as a result of those mergers and acquisitions and Tilray deal. We know that the CPG partner got delayed as well, and I think that's because of the market conditions, to be honest with you. It'd just be a waste to release that great news, all that good news in a bear market, right? As we know, in MJ, fundamentals do not matter in a bear market. Case in point, look at Truly, even High Tide, all these companies with great fundamentals and financials, and they're down 80 to 90% as well, right? It's the whole sector moves together. We believe that we'll be able to increase the margins for multi-state operators to choose to carry our Redees pre-roll, and we think we'll be able to increase foot traffic by simply having the best products, at HEXO co-founder Sebastian St. Louis. Again, reiterating and alluding to the fact that they're going to have that white labeling agreement with those multi-state operators. He also said the Redees are the best-selling pre-roll in Canada today, and they carry a phenomenal gross margin. Also, another post here from TonyXL. HEXO, the new HEXO flavor vapes are awesome, and the word is spreading. I also did a product review video on the Island Pineapple and the Key Lime Sunrise flavor vapes. They didn't have the wild strawberry, unfortunately, but I'll hopefully get a video out and a product review on that one, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are on that one. But essentially, did a video on that. You can go check out that product review as well. And the rolling technology on its own could be worth more than $1 billion, said Sebastian St. Louis as well. And I would have to agree that pre-roll tech that's coming from Redecan is massively, massively valuable, because we know that Tilray realistically has been chasing HEXO ever since the Redecan deal. And we know Redecan had a competing offer from another competing LP for $1.4 billion. And this is what Sebastian St. Louis had to say about that. The reason why you say no to a $1.4 billion offer from another competing LP from the Redecan side If you're Redecan, why did they turn it down and go with HEXO for $925 million? It's because they see their part in this and building the 300-year brand story where the HEXO Redecan combined story will be a top MJ CPG, so consumer packaged good company in the world. And I agree 110%. And I think that, like I said, over the next few years, we're going to be entering a point of maximum critical mass. We're going to see, the U.S. potentially legalize, Germany, New York set to come online here into the fall. We have the midterm elections. We've got more individual states that could legalize as well. And you just have to stop and think that we're so early. We're still federally illegal in the U.S. and in a lot of countries, right? So there's so much growth to be had, not just in the U.S., but even in Canada alone. Quebec doesn't have vapes yet. There's tons of limitations with regards to orders, grams in each order, and how many drinks you can buy. You can't buy it in grocery stores or convenience stores. You can't buy beverages yet. You can't buy them at restaurants or events. So there's so much growth to be had. And like I said, really looking forward to the future. There's so much positive catalysts that are coming in the short term and also in the long term. And I really do think that we're still in the first inning of an amazing industry that's going to really, really change a lot of people's lives financially. And not only that, but just from an overall, well-being and health perspective, because it is medicine. And like I said, very excited. I'm just excited to be on this path with all of you and on the pursuit of wealth with all of you as well, because like I said, it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. And again, we're going to see a ton of growth, an absolute ton of growth. And I'm not going anywhere. I hope that you aren't either. And hopefully this video really hit home that we're still so early, and a lot of what we were told has still yet to come to fruition. But I do think that it's just a matter of time, not if, but when. So going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We'll continue the conversation there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Power Group. If you could, smash a like, help support me in the channel, and we'll see you again on the next video.